Hey everyone, Jonathan Gordon here, the Industrial Insider. I'm here with Noah Gordon to give you another piece of information of what is going on the industrial world. I'll throw it over to Noah to give him his introduction. He'll tell us a little bit about himself, what he's up to. We'll talk about what Minkies is doing on the development side. Then we'll move on to how they're looking at deals and how they're finding value. And then if we have time, we'll talk about the big leasing market, where leasing rates are and where it's going. Noah, I'll throw it over to you for an introduction.
All right, great. Well, thanks, John. Happy to be here, and thanks for asking me to join your podcast. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. My name is Noah Gordon. I'm the Vice President of Portfolio Management for Menkes Developments here in Toronto. Menkes is a 60-plus year family-owned integrated development company. We have business in all asset classes in real estate. My particular interest is on the industrial side. So I guess you picked the right guy, John, to join your podcast here.
I'm off to a good start.
And looking forward to chatting about the market and, offer whatever insight I can.
Okay, perfect. So let's jump right into it. As you know, as the market knows, you're a big developer with a lot of buildings going into the marketplace and space coming on stream. We want to talk about some of the developments that you have coming into the market the next, let's say, 12, 24, and maybe even 36 months.
Sure. So, yeah, no doubt, we're pretty fortunate to be one of the few groups with a pretty solid pipeline right now. That was not through anything but hard work. This market has been tight for a long time and just continues to get tighter.
Yep.
It's interesting that you asked about timelines to development. I think that's the hot topic in the market today, trying to figure out when you can actually deliver a building. And there's lots of things, of course, that influence that, whether it's mostly regulatory than anything else. So getting through those hurdles so we can actually deliver the buildings.
Right.
Right now, we've got 400,000 foot building under construction in Milton, Ontario, which is a redevelopment site. We're pretty excited about that one. We have another building in Burlington, about 120,000 feet that we've got under construction. And then we've got a land site, confidentially, I guess now the market knows, but we've got a land site under contract out in the East End, which will probably deliver about 500,000 feet over there as well.
That is great. Question about the development. Do you work on the designs of the building? Do you go to the market, ask brokers how many doors you should have, office space, clear height, flow of traffic on the site?
Yes, very much so. We are quite passionate about our design. And I got to be honest, and no disrespect to the broker who's in the other window here, pretty much the last place we go is to the brokers to ask them what to build. What we do though, is we go and chat with some of the most sophisticated users in the market, most of whom are already tenants of ours. We actually show them our designs and ask them for some feedback. We're pretty fortunate because of our structure being a private company where we can build what we know will lease today and into the future. I think one of the challenges that we've certainly seen in the market as land prices have gotten so much more expensive, time to development has been increased incrementally. So IRRs have really gotten driven down and cost of construction has gone up. What we're seeing is people are building, they're maxing out those developments. And we believe that building the right building with great circulation around it, lots of doors, good divisibility is the right thing to do for the long term. So yeah, we're extremely passionate about our design, no question.
Oh, you hit on a couple of key points. That's probably a good segue into our next topic in terms of how are you looking at deals in the marketplace, given it's so tough, so tight, values keep creeping up, land values, development charges, construction costs. How are you looking at deals that come across your desk, and how are you driving to add value to the current deals that you're seeing in the marketplace?
Well, I do a lot of eye rolling, that's for sure. Like everybody else, we just try to find our spot. We try to find a spot where we can add some value or, crack the egg in a little bit different way. We've got an unbelievable internal planning group. So, we believe strongly that we can bring lands on stream quicker than other groups. we're by no means the guys that pay the most. We're always looking for opportunities to snag stuff below market. We've got an excellent reputation for being closers. So, when deals fall apart, we love to swoop in because when people see it's us and our name, we don't carry that lightly. There are actual Menkeses at our company. Yeah. And, that reputation is very important. We don't tie stuff up we don't intend to actually deliver on. And so, we turn over a lot of rocks. Like I said, we roll our eyes from time to time, and we've been fortunate to get, I think, more than our share of deals over the years.
Given the market conditions right now, are you seeing a lot of opportunities from brokers, or are you finding a very few opportunities that come across your desk?
So, broadly marketed stuff, I would say certainly it's been slim pickings for sure. But as you know, right now, sort of Q1, I think we'll see a bunch of deals now that sort of the COVID paradigm has become a little bit more normal. Right. Sort of in these circumstances, or even prior to and the before times, as we call them, there were very few brokers who showed us a lot of opportunities. So Right. It's not that we're seeing opportunities left, right, and center. But guys like you and other guys in the market that we rely upon constantly show us opportunities, and that's how we create our pipeline.
So I guess a big key from that is your relationship with your brokers.
Very much so, right? I think we're one of the few groups that continues to habitually list our product for lease. We're constantly working with the broker community to sort of develop opportunities and find requirements. And in a market that's as tight as this, I think that's all we all have, right? There's a lot of bright guys in the room. It's the guys who can sort of sift through the noise. Sorry, I should say people in the room, sift through the noise and figure out how to make things happen. That's the differentiator.
Well, that's great to hear. Why don't we transition to the leasing market? It all depends on who you talk to, when you talk to them, on where everyone thinks the market or where the market actually is. Do you want to give some insight on where you think the market is? Like maybe give us a benchmark for lease a Class A building in the West End, on where you think leasing rates are and where you actually think they're actually going.
Well, I think that it's sort of interesting. Leasing rates are ultimately predetermined by people's cost bases. And so as some of these new entrants to the market have such significant cost bases, they're going to be forced to create a market rent that's significantly higher. What I would say is that the market rate in this market has been stagnant for a very long time. It's sort of the past sort of 3-4 years, maybe 5, we started to see it incrementally go up. We've seen some pretty significant jumps. I know I'm not answering your question, but I'll get there. We've seen some pretty significant jumps over time, particularly recently as the market continues to get tighter and tighter. But our business is a simple one where we look at the full picture. Obviously the relationship with the broker first and foremost, but also the covenant and the use of the tenant for us to determine market. There's no question that we're into double digits. Here's your answer. There's no question we're into double digits across the GTA. I think it'll be interesting to see how far things get pushed. Can we get to the mid-teens? I'm not sure, but I certainly would like to see deals continue to push up in that direction.
So when you're sitting at internal meetings and talking about lease rates, do you have a certain threshold that you want to hit when you're working on a particular deal? Or is it essentially a case-by-case basis where this is the tenant, this is the deal, we may be 10 or 20% below where quote unquote market is, but we still want to do the deal?
So yeah, sure. Everybody's got a pro forma and you try to at least meet or beat. We're pretty fortunate today that the deals we have, our cost basis is relatively low compared to others. But B, we just underwrite extremely conservatively. So sure, yes, there is a number that we want to beat, but oftentimes when we even go for deal approval, we know that that number is low. We also compare to sort of what's going on in the market. But ultimately, it's a gut check, right? It's a gut check. What do you think this space is worth? What's the competition look like? And as you said, how much do you want the tenant?
Right. I want to say thank you for joining my podcast and giving us some insight into what you're seeing and how you're delivering on your requirements and whatnot. I also have another off-topic question for you. What do you think about suits. Are suits going to be still a thing in the industrial world, or are we going to scrap them? We're going to go to business casual jeans and khakis?
That's a good question. So one, I'll give you an anecdote too. I'll answer your question. So at the beginning of this pandemic, we inked a deal with a consumer household goods company called Edgewell Products. Yep. And one of Edgewell's big business lines is razors. Right. And I remember a couple of days after inking our deal, another broker in the market actually sent me a snippet of an interview with their CEO, and he was saying how revenues are down because nobody was shaving. Right. I think it's all going to come back. I think certainly when we're in the office and we're, well, not you, but most of us, when we're in the office, we'll be all suited up. Yep. But I definitely think there'll be some flexibility for Fridays or site tours or whatever the case may be, where you'll see a little bit more casual dress. I certainly like to see some guys shave though. These COVID beards are wearing on me for sure.
Oh, for sure. Well, thank you. Thanks again. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself. My email is jonathan@leonard.com, or shoot me or give me a call at 416-471-0904, and we'll see you next time.